Not a bad haul for a 2-day harvest. Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. Over the last 2 days, I have been harvesting a ton of potatoes. I needed to get all of the first round of potatoes out, what's left of them anyway, so I could make room for something else. And so here's the video of the potato harvest. It's a 2-day harvest. Hello everybody. We are in the garden again and I have help for the first time this season. So I don't have to be out here in all this heat by myself. My girls are going to help me today. So Charlie and Alicia are going to help us get some more of these potatoes harvested so we can put some more stuff in the ground because we got to keep that succession planting going. So while I'm working on the raised bed pulling out potatoes, both Alicia and Charlie are going to work on these 2 containers right here. Now, I'm not going to be videoing everybody at the same time, but we'll definitely get those weights on video for each of these bags as well as the metal raised bed. So I'm just going to jump over there and I'm going to get to it. So looking at the last of these potatoes in the metal raised bed, you can see they're all yellow. They got brown tips all over them. We're going to get these out of here. They're Kennebec and German butterball, so we can fill this bed up with more potatoes and other good stuff. We are going to work on these German butterballs first. And y'all, most of these German butterballs, they're completely died back. But I think these are late season potatoes, if I remember correctly. I only have 1 row of 4, but the potatoes are above ground, like crazy above ground. German butterball, here we come. And look at this right here, y'all. Look at that. You see that potato above the ground? If your potatoes are above the ground without anything covering them, they can get a green tint on them. And that green tint on your potatoes can make you sick, can upset your stomach. So anytime I see one uncovered, I always put straw or mulch or something on it. But this is German butterball. German butterball is supposed to be a buttery taste. From a taste standpoint, it's a lot of people say the German butterball is a nicer potato than the Yukon Gold, but has a buttery taste to it. But I can't seem to grow them any bigger than this right here. So hopefully I got some bigger potatoes this season. Wish me luck. And I've never grown them in a raised bed before. There they go. Maybe this is as big as they get. I don't know. We've had a ton of rain the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. And so even though I had this bed trying to dry it out, with all the rain that came in, boy, it's soaked. I mean, it's really, really soaked. Today is July 5th. Now that one's got some weird spots on it, but it's solid. I like to set it up there so you can see what I'm getting. All right, so we're working on the first plant. I think I just stole one from the second plant. The first plant was here. Oh, there's another. I think that's it from the first plant. And we're going to move back to the second plant. So here is our second plant. There's a potato right on top. Y'all finding any? Elise, you finding a lot? Okay. I got a lot of little baby ones. Well, they're not big. You got big ones? Okay. Whoa, let me see. Oh my goodness, look at that potato. What's the name of your potato? It was in there. It was in your bucket. Find the name tag. Find your name tag. It's a big one. Find that name tag. so I can tell the viewers what kind it is. Elise, what's your name tag? I think you're Sangre. Sangre, I think. Oh, now this one's not good. These are baby potatoes. These don't look so hot. Oh, let me see. This is Sangre. There we go. There's a Sangre. We will take a good look at this once she gets the whole bag done. Yep, so German butterball, I just don't think they're big potatoes. For the last 2 years now, I've been growing them, and they're just not big. That's it. That's as big as they get. There's Charlie's. I'm still waiting on the name tag from Charlie, though. Wow, that's a nice set of potatoes right there, y'all. Look at all those potatoes. Look at them. They're small, though. That's the only thing with these German butterballs. They are small potatoes, but good tasting potatoes. So honestly, I think this is a good harvest of German butterball. And they're still coming. The good thing about these German butterballs, they all come up together. Okay, so these are my German butterballs. These are smaller potatoes, but I really believe this is the size because this is the size that I got last year. Let's give them away. And yes, they're extremely dirty because they're extremely wet, but we're going to weigh them up. I've been averaging just under a pound per seed potato. So let's see how we're going to do with these German butterballs with them being as small as they are. Oop, I missed one. I see it right there. There's one right there I missed. On top. Okay, let's get our weight. I got to get it on the right units, so we're going to put it on pounds. Three 3.2 pounds. 3.2 pounds. We are going to slide down here and we're going to grab these Kennebec next. And then that's everything out. As long as I didn't leave any behind, which I'm afraid that I did, but we will see. And this bed is so wet. Oh, it is drenched. So much rain in the last 48 hours. Eva! All right. So Charlie has been growing, Charlie has been harvesting Eva. And I only had a couple containers of Eva, but that's what she's harvesting today. We will get hers weighed up. Once she gets everything cleaned up over there, we will bring her potatoes out here so you can see them and we will weigh them up. And I'm going to move on over here to the Kennebec. Kennebec, I have, I believe, 8 plants in here. Kennebec is an all-around potato. It's good for kind of everything. You can boil them, you can mash them, you can bake them, you can chip them. So Kennebec, you can pretty much do anything with them. So that's what we're harvesting. There's a ton of them right on the surface here, a ton of them, just below the straw. So that's what a Kennebec looks like. This is by far my best season ever. Honestly, it really is. On the size of my potatoes. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that potato. Look at it. Look. I didn't grow Kennebec last year. I took it out of the rotation. So this year I put it back in the rotation. And I'm so glad that I did because we are having a good year of potatoes, y'all. Oh, we're having a really good year. And so I'm trying to pull all of them from one seed potato at a time to try to see if, you know, they all performed well or if there was one that didn't perform too well. But these things are spreading so that I don't know which one goes with what plant. All right, so that was one. And that's probably close to a pound right there. All right, let's work on this next one here. Now I've pulled some off the top too, so I don't know where these potatoes coming from, but I know there are 8 potatoes in here, and we will just average the weight across all 8 potatoes. And I will say again, I believe my raised bed is doing better than my containers, which makes so much sense, right? That makes perfect sense. Man, y'all, look at those potatoes. Look at all of that. I'm in front of steaks and everything, but 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potatoes, more. That's 8 potatoes off of this one. And it was probably more than that because there was some above the ground. Oops, I didn't go deep enough because look, there's some more potatoes. Kennebec is looks more like a white skin, white flesh potato. German butterball has a little yellowish tint to the potato itself. To the flesh. The skin is kind of yellow too. All right, so here is my first green potato. So this potato right here has a green spot just on this back side. That means this part got hit by the sunlight. And so I had a couple people ask, what do you do with your green potatoes? Now, like I said, the green part of your potato can upset your stomach, but you can just cut that green off and the rest of the potato will be just fine. So that's what we'll be doing with this potato. So guess what? We're going to weigh that up as well. And the whole potato's not green, just the little tip that was exposed to the sun. You ready?
Can I weigh it?
We got to put them in my basket and everything first. All right, I'm gonna pause on the Kennebec so that my daughter can get her potatoes over here so you can see her harvest. So here's my daughter's harvest of sangre. And now she's gonna weigh them up for us. Sangre. So how many, what does it say?
288.
2, Vego. Okay. 2 pounds, 2.88 pounds, just under 3 pounds. Good job, Elise. Good job. All right, Charlie's turn. All right, these are Charlie's potatoes. These are Eva potatoes. They're white potatoes with white flesh. So fill your bag up and we're gonna weigh Charlie's potatoes.
2.72.
2.72, 2.72. And that was for three seed potatoes, 2.72 for Eva. All right, I'm going to get back to the Kennebec that I was working on. There's another. Now this is not Kennebec, this is Lehigh. It got mixed in. I missed it yesterday when I was picking because it's yellow with a yellow flesh. But we're gonna weigh it up with the Kennebec. 1 potato won't mess up the numbers. We're gonna get this bed empty. We got stuff to plant, y'all. These are just average size. Okay. All right, I decided to go ahead and take this off the top. I'll be able to put it right back in there because it's still all connected. We will get these last 3 or 4. Last 4. I started this one here, but these are the last 4. Interesting. Okay, the back side of this bed here is very dry. So I got to really look at the way I set up my drip irrigation because it's very dry on the backside. I mean, there was nothing back there growing, but I just got to be very careful on how I set that up. Nice sized potatoes. Kennebec is an elongated potato. The basket is filling up, which is amazing. That's what we want. There's another one that almost got missed. Didn't go deep enough. The soil is still very loose. Feels good. But what I like about my drip irrigation, I can move it around to wherever I need it to be. I like it being flexible. That's a German butterball that was on the wrong side. It's going to get mixed in with those from a weight standpoint. There we go. Nice potatoes. Okay, y'all, I might have to do both of these beds in potatoes next year and save my containers for other items because I am really enjoying this potato harvest from the raised bed. All right, so we're over to the last potato here, or the last plant, I should say. And I think that's the biggest one yet. Look at that. Again, you have to be careful with the skins of your potatoes because they're very fragile at first. There's another. I think that's it. And if I missed any, it'll be all right. Because guess what? We're putting potatoes back in here, y'all. There it is, y'all. Is that scab? Nope, they're beautiful. Beautiful potatoes. Beautiful potatoes. Okay, we are gonna weigh these up. Let's see. 7 pounds. There's some more. Doing good. Oh, there's one in the bag too. All right, we'll do yours as soon as I get mine weighed up, okay? This is almost as good as my purple Vikings from a haul standpoint. Let's see what we got though. And yes, there's 2 potatoes that are not Kennebec in here, but that's okay. We are still gonna measure them in here just so we don't lose that weight because I don't wanna have to reweigh the other 2. Most of them are decent size. Oh, goodness. 8.23. 8.23. Whew. Y'all, that's my best weight yet. 8.23 for 8 potatoes. Y'all, that's better than my purple Viking. 8 point, what did I say, 23? 8.23. Woohoo! Yes. So we're gonna move over and help the girls out. While we're waiting on my girls over there to finish up, I just want to show you there are still plenty of potatoes. There's like 3 more containers right there. That'll have to be another day. These containers have already been replanted. And honestly, y'all, I don't know what's in them. I just took whatever I had and dumped it in a container. I know some of them have russet potatoes and some just have whatever was left over all mixed together. There's another one right there. You see this one's already coming up. That one over there is coming up. This is one of the last ones that I planted, and yep, it's coming up as well. There's a little green leaf in that one. That one over there is definitely russet potatoes that I started from last year's potatoes. There's a container and another container that's at a different stage of growth. So throughout the garden, y'all, we got potatoes in multiple stages. Some broke the ground, some haven't broke the ground. Some of them are almost ready to harvest. And we are going to add it all together, y'all. All right, Charlie's going to empty this pot. There are 4 seed potatoes in here, and it's German butterball and Lehigh. German butterball and Lehigh together in this container here. German butterball is going to be small and the Lehigh should be large. You see some? Here's potatoes. So she needs a container.
They're both white.
They're both white. Yes, one's going to be big and one's going to be small.
I already found a big one right here.
Okay, you need to put them somewhere. Put them in that pot then. You see, they'll do it with no gloves. I won't do that. That's a nice size one. Keep going. So those little ones are German butterball.
This one? After dinner, if every...
All right, moving back over to Alicia. Show them how little your bag was. That's the size bag she has. I think that is a 3-gallon grow bag. So go ahead and put it down. And she was growing Eva. There was 1 seed potato in there. Show them your potatoes. 2 seed potatoes. There you go. All right, so she's going to weigh them up for me. All right, you got them in there, Elise? You got to turn it on and make sure it's on LB. 1.28. 1.28 for Eva. All right, Charlie, show them your harvest. All right, and you were harvesting German butterball and Lehigh. All right, put it in a bag. Let's see how much you got. 1.71. 1.71. Okay, it's been 2 days. I didn't get it done, y'all. I tried to get it done, but I couldn't get it all done. So I needed to get these potatoes out so I could make room for something else. So I am going to harvest now the last 3 containers. So you've already seen my daughters. You saw me do the raised bed. Now I'm going to work on the last 3 containers that I have here. This container here is German butterball. I've already cut the tops out, trying to save some time. I almost didn't turn the camera back on, but I know everybody loves a good potato harvest. So I went ahead, turned the camera on anyway, but I almost didn't. So German butterball, there it is. There's one on top. And again, for German butterball, they're smaller. It looks like there are 4 potatoes in this container. And after these 3 containers, that's all of the potatoes that I planted back in early April. And then everything else is either a second round or in a different part of the garden. So this is it. So I feel one. There's only one there. There's something down there. They all feel small, but that's okay. Let's get it open. German butterball. Okay. So I am in the shade, and that's intentional, y'all, because the humidity is ridiculous. And I do mean ridiculous. Yeah, German butterball is just a small potato. I've decided, I don't know if I want to grow this one again. The taste is amazing, buttery taste, but I just don't get big potatoes. I haven't gotten big potatoes for a few years now. I think that's as big as they get right there. So there were 4 potatoes in here. I mean, it's not bad size. If this is the size they're supposed to be, which I believe it is now. There it is. So for 4 potatoes, considering how small they are, I guess this is a good harvest. All right, so there's my German butterball. Let's get it weighed up. I'm glad I waited a couple of days. That gave these potatoes a few days to dry out because whew, the other potatoes that I harvested, they were so wet, so wet. They had so much dirt on them. 1.80. 1.80. Now we're going to do Lehigh, which is a white potato. I see a big one. Okay, all right. It looks like I have 3 potatoes in this container. Only 3 in here. Only 3 potatoes, and there's a big one right there, y'all. Lehigh. Oh, well, let's dump it out properly. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is going to be a good one. Oh, yes. I see potatoes all around the sides. On all sides, there are potatoes. Lehigh, Lehigh, Lehigh. It's been my favorite for a few years now. Look at that, y'all. Potatoes everywhere. Okay. All right. Let's get our basket over here. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. You know, I've had no problems this year. I believe, at least for this first round of potatoes, this is a bumper crop year for me on potatoes. I think it's my best season yet. I think I finally got the quantities right on how many to put in my pots. I now know which type of containers do better for me. So fabric pots do better than plastic, but plastic will give me a nice sized potato as long as I don't put too many seed potatoes in the container. But 3 seed potatoes, that's how many were in here. 3. Ugh, mushy, mushy, mushy. And if you're gonna get a potato like this, look at that, y'all. Look at that. That's amazing. I was thinking about doing away with Lehigh and going back to Kennebec. I don't think so. I might have to keep both. And my goal this year was for larger potatoes. That's what I wanted more than anything. I got tired of having to cut up those little small potatoes. So larger potatoes was the goal, and I think we've succeeded. There they are. Now, I started with 3 seed potatoes. So I ended up with 20. Now, all 20 aren't great sized potatoes, but I started with 3 and I came out with 20. So I'm going to take that as a win. 2.46. 2.46. Okay, this is our last pot from the first batch of potatoes. And y'all, I feel like I've been harvesting potatoes now for about 3 weeks, but I think it might have been 3 weeks since we started harvesting potatoes, but this is the last pot of the first batch. Now, yes, there are potatoes behind me. There are potatoes that I just started. I got potatoes on the side of my house, but they were not part of the first batch. So red Pontiac is the next one. Now, red Pontiac, I've gotten large potatoes, so potatoes have been large. There just haven't been many. And this is my preferred red potato, but I may be finding a new red potato. I may have to go back to the red New Orleans. It's an earlier potato too. Now let's see how many potatoes we got here though. Got one. I don't think I put but 4 potatoes in here at most, but I can't tell how many seed potatoes I started with, but I shouldn't have started with many more than 3 or 4. But there are a couple potatoes on top, and there's some little baby ones on top. So the little baby ones on top means that it was still trying to produce here. Let me get these 2 off of the top, and then we will pour it out. This pot has humps and bumps around it, so hopefully we'll end on a good note. I'm sure there's some in here though, just might not be many. There are some potatoes. I thought that one split, but it's just growing funny. It didn't split open, but there are 3 potatoes. Again, I'm finding that they grow very close to the top, which I found in my metal raised bed as well. So I got some little bitty ones and some nice sized ones. They are jammed in there. It's like they were all on one level and there was no more room for them to spread, but there's some decent ones. And they were still trying to put more on. There's a whole bunch of baby ones in there. Yeah, see all these little baby ones? Yeah, it still wanted to produce. I mean, really wanted to produce. There's a bunch of them on there. I think I put too many in a pot. I'm going to have to get my garden journal out and make a note. Red Pontiac, only put 2 per pot, only 2. Unless I'm going to start them in layers because, I mean, it's got some weight to it, but it seemed like they were like really jammed in there. And I can't tell how many were in that pot, but it definitely looked like at least 3. I only found 3, if you want to call it skins for the seed potatoes, but maybe I put whole potatoes in there or something. I don't know, but looked like too many potatoes. 2.68. 2.68, which that's good. 2.68. All right, let's get everything together so we can see how we did. There is the 2-day harvest. 2 days. I did pots. I did raised beds. I did plastic containers. I did fabric containers. And I harvested several varieties of different potatoes. And here's the total quantities by variety over the last 2 days of how many potatoes that I've harvested and the total weight for the last 2 days. And y'all, this is a lot of potatoes. I mean, this is a whole lot of potatoes over the last 2 days. And so this is the quantity for the last 2 days. And I'm going to go ahead and show you just how many potatoes I've harvested in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And all I have is 1 metal raised bed and pots and containers. And this is how many I've harvested in the first round for this season. Y'all, that's a lot of potatoes. That's a whole lot of potatoes. And I got the second round already going. I want to keep them going all season. Now, I'm going to have to take these downstairs. I'm going to have to let the skins cure because the skins are very delicate right now. And I'll probably go ahead and start processing some of these because I don't want them to go bad. And I want to make sure we enjoy all of these potatoes. And when you're getting potatoes like this, nobody wants that stuff from the grocery store. So hopefully you enjoyed the harvest. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Kim's Cozy Corner. And come back again and visit with me really soon. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.